be shaman. Shaman king. To be shaman. Shaman king. If your spirit is strong, you could be the one.
Oh yeah, did you hear that they're making a new Futurama series?
Yeah, I'm not interested.
Yeah, it sounds like a terrible... Apparently, like, the voice actor for Bender's not on board.
Yeah, that's... Okay, no, yeah, why bother?
Yeah, this is gonna fall apart so hard. It's like...
If John DiMaggio isn't willing to play Bender for it, then, like Bender's voice is iconic.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, that's that character. You can't just switch him out for someone else. It won't work.
Yeah.
And, I'm sure they'll have, like, good episodes in 5 months or whatever, it is still Futurama, but it's like, that's the thing, like, the final season you could feel they were going downhill and running out of ideas and just scraping for where they could do,
Mm-hmm.
And then immediately at the very end of that, they hit, like, a super good, perfect ending for the series that, like, everyone was super okay with. And, there's just this unanimous sense of, like, okay, you know what, if this is how it goes, this is, like, about as good as it's gonna get, this is the right time for this thing to end, right?
Is it the story with, like, the time-traveling, like, different version of Fry, and, like...
It's the one where Fry gets, like, trapped in a time loop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets trapped in, like, a time loop, and, like, he, like, breaks the controller and, like, ends up spending, like, his lifetime in, like, the frozen time with Leela. And, it's really, like, sweet and wholesome, and they just get to, like, be a couple. Yeah, then the professor just, like, comes back and he's like, oh yeah, I'm able to reverse everything. And it's like, okay, yeah, perfect, done. It's like, the effing, like, canon couple finally got together and they did their thing and they had a good little send-off and a fun little episode.
Yeah, because I think everybody is, like, I don't know, everybody wants to see Fry actually succeed, because he's kind of a loser.
Yeah. I feel like at that point he kind of has.
Yeah.
It's like, fair enough, you got the girl, you did it, man, you had a nice little relationship finally. All the, like, stuff they're building up is just sort of like, fine now, it's good. So yeah, that's gonna be a thing. Speaking of, like, effing... I don't know, I feel like there's a segue here about hell, robot hell, I don't know. You know what, screw it, if you change out Bender's voice actor, he's going to robot hell, done it. Speaking of hell... Yeah, so...
as I said before we started streaming, death doesn't matter in Shaman King.
I don't matter.
Death does not matter. It's like, whatever.
I had to, it was too obvious.
Oh, I didn't really catch what you said.
That's fine, Baron makes puns like that all the time. But yeah, death in this series just, like, it just straight up doesn't, like, matter anymore. Like, we're at the point where it's like, okay, yeah, no, just straight up kill the main characters, let them have their little hell adventure, it's fine, they'll get better.
Yeah. There's a point where Sati, the character who's been bringing people back to life, she gets stabbed through, and it's like, oh, she's dead. And, like, for a moment, I was like, oh, there's actual consequence. Like, people can't come back to life. And then, like, I'm jumping to, like, the end of the episode. Yeah. But they're like, oh, yeah, Faust has mastered the art of resurrection.
Yeah, just straight up, like, all the characters' lives in the series all just straight up directly depend on Faust being the best doctor ever.
Yeah.
And so I kind of love that.
Wait, does this mean he could bring back his wife?
He probably could at this point if he had, like, their, like, body.
He's got the skeleton. Is that enough? That's the question.
Here's the thing, I don't believe that's enough, but also he's actually able to, like, communicate with his wife now and, like, be together, so I feel like that's, like, as much as he really needs, right? As opposed to before where he was, like, implied to be, like, controlling her like a puppet.
Yeah, but I'm sure the perfect version of what he wants is to truly bring her back to life.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe like Faust just needs something to act as a body, Maybe it's going like Tammy and the T-Rex. Faust just finds an animatronic dinosaur and he's like, okay, yeah, you are Eliza now. Done.
Frankenstein's monster himself, a body for his wife.
Yeah. We just need to get the right corpses together. And, he's at the cemetery. He's like, digging through graves. He's like, oh yeah, does this seem right? Yeah, how do you feel about this phase? And, Eliza's just like, yeah, nah. And he's like, alright, let's keep looking then, honey.
Yeah. I don't know. The whole situation's weird. But yeah, it's like, oh, Faust can resurrect people, so I'm not actually worried about Sati anymore.
Yeah. Sati's gonna be fine as long as Faust can, like, just survive with Ryu. Which I guess that's what Ryu's gonna do. Him and Faust are gonna have to, like, fight Hao's minions off while, like, everyone else goes on their hell adventure. Because they're sure as heck not gonna let him walk away from this. Well, phrasing, but still.
So yeah, also there's like I guess Ryu promised to never kill anybody to Sati.
Yeah.
When she resurrected him, so like he's about to kill the Chinese guy because he like, what did he say? He was like, oh yeah, we killed all the people who were with Marco.
Yeah, I think it was so like that. Faust is like, what? Oh, I'm gonna like... No, not Faust. Ryu was like,
Ryu.
what? I'm gonna end you. And he like, uppercuts him with his pompadour.
Yeah, and it does enough damage, it draws blood.
Oh man, I actually didn't check the trail today. Yeah, we just got caught, and I just glanced at it and said, oh yeah, you might not well, like, like, simmer down a little on the horror background stuff, and it's like, oh boy.
Oh, we're just not gonna get an answer for a while.
I guess we're not gonna get much of an answer for that, but yeah, thanks for letting me know. I'll read the rest of that later. But yeah, this is like... This is a whole thing.
Sorry, how would they know that? Isn't this anime adaptation like past what was written in the manga? No, because you're reading the manga.
Yeah, this is past the original anime, but the manga is complete, yeah.
Okay.
The manga's complete and has, like, a sequel series out, and, like, I assume they mean, like, Horo's backstory isn't gonna be, like, that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things.
Then why'd they make such a big deal out of it?
I don't know, that's what I'm wondering, but I guess we'll get an answer later on.
Ugh.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out what that's about eventually.
Yeah. Okay, so everybody's in hell now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, straight up, before we, like, get really deep into that, I do want to mention I did read through the manga. The anime skipped the straight up magical girl fight.
Right, with the bugs or whatever.
Yeah, I, like, linked an image, it's like, oh, this isn't what I expected. So yeah, like, they skipped it, and actually reading through it, I can totally see why they skipped it.
Is it an absolutely nothing fight?
It is like, it goes exactly the way you expect it will.
They absolutely destroy them instantly.
Yeah, so the magical girls are like three old ladies that, talk about being, like, experienced, and they refer to themselves as, like, witches and stuff. And, their oversouls are like giant flies and, like, a giant spider and a big slug monster.
Gross.
And as they're, like, talking, I think her name's Kana, the, like, older of the, like, like, how, like, witch girl trio. Hanagumi, I believe they're called. I keep calling them the witch trio because it's, like, feels more appropriate.
Yeah, whatever name works.
Yeah, she just sends her, like, spirit out and just, like, impales one of them with a sword, like, immediately, with his big, like, lance. Like, while she's monologuing, basically.
Yeah.
Like, it's really funny to, like, read, because it's like, they, like, summon their oversouls, and, like, the, old lady says some stuff, and she's like, oh, yeah, come on, show me what you got. And Kana, like, sends out the night, and it cuts back to the old lady, and she's like, you may be young, but what you lack is, like, age, you also lack in, like, experience and technique. And, like, the very next panel is the old lady just being impaled, which implies she just did nothing and was talking as it speared her.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Arrogance.
Yeah. So they just take her out, and then they get her on the ground, and they just keep stabbing her until there's, like, what seems to be just a pile of gore left. It's
Nice.
like the other members of the Magical Girls just watch on in horror. And then, it begins as, like, the effing Hanagumi's just like, alright, yeah, it's time for the Star Festival to commence. And they just send out their spirits and just wreck all of their crap effortlessly. And just, they split the second one in half with, like, effing Jack the Ripper. Just cut straight through the slug oversoul, because of course.
Yeah.
And the third one tries to run away and escape on the giant fly, and as she does, she just looks over, and there's the little, like, creepy, like, Chucky doll with the gun, and it just shoots the fly to death, and, just ruins her escape plan. And it's like, oh, alright, well, I guess there's no way I have this then. It's like at the point where, like, the crowd is just freaking out, and, like, people are covering their eyes and stuff because they can't watch this crap.
Yeah. I mean, like, there's the argument that it's like, well, it's such a nothing fight that, like, we didn't really need to see it. But, like, if it would have been such a quick thing, I don't know, there's a lot of dramatic pauses that could have been cut down a little bit.
Yeah. To be fair, like, that, like, episode in the anime had, like, so much going on that makes 100% complete sense, right?
Which episode? Was it?
Yeah, the last episode. Yeah, it was just,
team,
like, all
yeah,
this
Ren's
stuff.
team was fighting or whatever.
Yeah. Crap, where's the con? I was so unlike shit. Right, here we go, yeah. I had to, like, bring this up before, but I never really had a good chance to, and now seems like about as good a time as ever, but yeah. Way back in episode 29, I think it was, episode 91 of the podcast, yeah, we just straight up got someone who, like, commented what the backstories of these characters are.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, straight up. So, like, should I, like, just read this off?
If you want.
Alright, so Kana was born to German nobility. Being an ectoplasmic, she had a very nasty issue with vomiting spirit goo everywhere. Her parents tried all kinds of doctors and exorcisms, but what she lacked was shamanic training, so none of it worked. Later in life, her family got killed and everything they owned got on paper with the authority of the law taken away from her. She went from rich to owning absolutely nothing as a bunch of lawyers swarmed around to get a cut of the fortune. House showed up, killed all the people there, and offered to take her in.
Huh.
I should mention, this is from, like, apparently, like, a spin-off manga, so it's like, there's another manga where I assume it's like, they're the main characters or whatever, and it gets into their backstory.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we have Matilda, which I believe is the orange-haired one, I forget exactly. Abandoned by her parents because they were afraid of her powers. An old witch found her, just straight up like an actual witch, and offered her training. And that witch used actual witchcraft herbs and shamanism to help the local people, from things like healing to getting rid of the infamous Jack the Ripper and trapping his soul once he refused to move on. So that explains what the pumpkin thing is about.
Right.
She was teaching all the tricks to Monty, but eventually she fell ill, and when the girl ran to the nearest village seeking help and medicine, nobody wanted to have anything to do with the witch or her brat. When the old woman passed away, Matu was once again left to die due to her powers. When she ran to Hao, who took her in and convinced Jack to become her guardian spirit. So yeah, Hao got her a spirit guardian. Yeah, and finally...
I bet it's more accurately, he threatened it into it.
Yeah, I'd believe it. I believe, that it's like Hao just takes one look at it. It's like, okay, yeah, I'll play nice.
I will erase you.
Yeah. And we have Marion and daughter of the Italian mob boss. So yeah, this is the white-haired girl with, the, Chucky doll.
Mm-hmm.
She was one of the closest of the three Italian to be around anyone that knew what to do, as her mother is a fortune teller. So it was generally seen as a great thing when Marion started showing minor powers. The gun was a gift from her father, who was an effing mob boss.
Alright.
While the doll from her mother, her spirit ally is a young sheriff, so it's an actual cowboy.
Nice.
Young sheriff who quickly grew to like her. Oh, okay, never mind. Maybe it's not an actual cowboy, just a sheriff. Still, though, the word sheriff does imply some things.
Right, yeah. When you hear sheriff, it's like, oh yeah, like a cowboy. But it could have just been like a cop.
Yeah, sorry. It's been 3 months since I've read this.
So good.
The sheriff who quickly grew to like her. Oh, so it's like her boyfriend, like her crush. And swore to always protect her. But not everyone was too happy with her and her mother having magic powers. Her father got betrayed, mother brutally murdered in front of her, and Marion was about to die herself when Hao came by and literally saved her. So yeah, these characters are a bit more interesting than I first assumed. Yeah, apparently they're some of the first actual shaman that the mangaka conceptualized and designed, so that's a neat touch.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that out real quick while it felt appropriate. So yeah, hell.
Yeah, so who are the 5 warriors supposed to be? Yo, Horo, Chocolove, Rin,
Chocolove, and Lyserg, yeah. We were thinking it was gonna be maybe Faust or Ryu, but no, it's Lyserg.
Yeah, that's weird to me, but whatever.
Yeah, I guess Ryu's just gonna be left by the Ray side eventually. He's gonna fight some of Hao's minions, and that's probably gonna be the peak for him. Yeah, a bit of a shame, but, he is the Krillin, so it's not completely unexpected, unfortunately.
Yeah, it is unfortunate.
Yeah. And maybe more of the Krillin or the Yamcha?
Krillin stayed relevant.
Yeah, that's fair.
Somewhat. Yamcha really falls by the wayside.
Would that make Faust the Piccolo? I know I've had this conversation so many times, but still.
Gosh, I don't know.
I don't know. Would Faust be Piccolo or Kami? Or is there a difference?
Well, the difference is that Piccolo actually does stuff with the main cast, and Kami sits on the lookout.
Yeah, and I'd believe Faust is more like the Kami now. He's Piccolo turned Kami. I feel like that's fair enough. I don't think Faust is gonna, actually have a big fight. I don't know, maybe he'll put out his Oversoul and do something with it, but I doubt Faust is gonna be much of a fighter from here on out.
Yeah.
Yeah, as much of a show as that kind of is. I just want more Faust moments, damn it. So yeah, Yo just goes to hell, and yeah, we finally, first off, he fights his, ancestor, the guy who killed Hao 500 years ago.
Yoken.
Yeah, or no, wait, it's 1,000 years ago, wasn't it? Yeah, Yoken. Because, 500 years ago was the Great Spirit, wasn't it? No, not the Great Spirit, the Spirit of Fire. That's when he got that thing, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he fights Yoken and he just summons this giant Tengu Oversoul. And it's like, oh, alright, I guess we're doing this now.
Yeah,
And
Masamune is like, oh wow, pulling that out already, huh?
yeah. And here's the thing, we get to see more of Yo's Oversoul, his, like, new one, and it's actually really cool. I actually like it a lot.
It is super cool.
Yeah, because he's just, like... I'm sorry, what are you saying?
I was just gonna say, like, I don't know, maybe I just wasn't paying enough attention, but I couldn't really tell. Like, it's like a giant pair of hands, and then they can hold the sword. And they're like, it's like the main thing about it is that they're flexible.
Yeah, it's like, it's a series of, like, shields and other, like, bits of, like, plating that form, like, a chain that, like, leads to a hand that holds the sword. And, alright, the anime doesn't go into this, but the manga does bring attention to the fact that it's, like, the sword hand strap has, like, the, like, Amidamaru's sword in it, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And, like, the other hand has, like, the stone, like, sword in it, so it's, like, like, they're spread apart, right?
Yeah. So Yo can dual wield.
Yeah, kind of. He still only has one sword, but it's attached to a very flexible arm that can change shape and do different things.
Yeah. Maybe more so I meant he's ambidextrous. Like he can swap the hand that he fights with really easy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he can just swap this however and do all kinds of nice stuff. Cause it's like, it's a big, like, spirit arm, right?
Yeah.
So as he, like, brings up, he's like, oh yeah, I could, like, change the size of my oversoul, but that's, like, really straining and hard to do. So, I just created something that, like, I could imagine that wouldn't have to, like, change its size. It could just, like, change shape and, like, do whatever based on the situation.
Yeah,
And,
he's just like,
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, and Yo's just like, swans are cool.
Yeah, I want this to be kind of like a swan. I feel like it's a bit more, like, obvious in the manga, even though they do make a giant, like, swan image in the anime.
Yeah, I mean, I can see what they're going for.
Yeah, because there's, like, the wing sections that, like, extend out and stuff. Yeah, there's a point where he just fights a demon and he just wraps this thing around its arm and just wrenches the crap out of it.
Yeah. Man, Yo. So, after they kind of like show off for each other and it's like, oh man, you're strong or whatever. They're just like, all right. Yo's just like, hey, can we just sit down and talk for a little bit?
Yeah. Yo basically, like, he wins the fight, I'll just say. Like, just straight up.
Yeah.
He beats
like,
the
right,
technique that killed Hao.
Yeah, he does do that. Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, this is the technique that killed Hal for like 1,000 years ago. And then Yo is just like, oh, all right, let's see it. And then he beats it.
Yeah. He does make an interesting point of like, oh yeah, if I can't beat this guy, then there's no point going back to life because Hal's just going to murder me.
Yeah, and it turns out Yo is stronger than Hal 1,000 years ago, so that's good.
Yeah.
I guess.
Although it's worth knowing Hal probably was like, a bit unsure and stuff because of Masamune, so that would like affect it a bit. But still.
Yeah. The problem is that Hal has gotten so much stronger since then.
Yeah. Although I guess to be fair, he's got like an elemental spirit and he's died twice since then, right?
Yeah. So
that's like 2 power-ups. But Yo's gonna get 1 from this, so it feels like it's gonna even out a bit more by the end, especially with his allies. Still though, Hal's really strong. He's really been feeding that spirit of fire.
Yeah. Well, what it seems like is that, like, this isn't just dying and coming back to life. This is a power boost far beyond that.
Oh, yeah.
Because, hey, guess what? Marco's not freaking dead.
Yeah.
Like,
Marco just... Well, he was, and then he wasn't.
Yeah. At the very last second before the car blew up, Miss Maiden brought Marco back to life, and he comes back with his angel and just stomps what's his face.
Yeah, Antel, I think his name is. Yeah.
Anahal.
Anatol. He stomps him and beats the Sphinx and, like, just wrecks everyone. And he's like, okay, yeah, before, like, the car exploded. Which, I looked back, that explosion looked pretty, like, damn lethal. He's like, before it exploded, that really foul spirit, managed to, like,
Disgusting animal spirits.
Yeah, they covered Tamao and Maiden, and they might have saved them, or at least they kept them from experiencing the worst of it.
Their bodies weren't destroyed, so they can be revived.
Yeah.
That's the major takeaway.
I didn't recheck the anime, but, like, in the manga he does say, like, I don't like the way they did, but I am grateful.
Yeah. It's hey, Ponchi and Conchi did something of worth.
Yeah,
good job, guys.
They did something good for once.
I still hate them.
Oh, man. But yeah.
So, yeah, they're gonna be okay. Maybe? They're probably gonna be okay.
I can't imagine the Spirit of Fire eating the comic relief. They would probably give him, like, indigestion.
Oh man, poor Manta's stuck here in this situation and just like, what do I do?
Yeah.
What do I possibly do in this situation?
Against these literal god-level shamans.
Yeah, the answer's nothing.
Oh man. Mantamune. I still can't.
I'm disappointed. I kind of thought Tamao was going to have a moment where, like, she steps up and Punchy and, like, Soda Punchy and Conchi, and they're like, hey, we have to really give it her all and, like, fight this guy, and then she would get a win. But it's like, nah.
Yeah, it'd be really nice if Tamao had a moment, but at the same time, screw it, Marco's more important. I'll take a Marco moment over a Tamao moment any day, I suppose. He gets his moment to, like, just effing, like, just save her and, like, beat the Sphinx, and then House shows up to kill them, and he's like, alright, go, car!
Yeah, I guess he's just gonna drive away. I don't know what's happening.
Oh yeah, I forget if I mentioned this, but yeah, someone did leave a con I should probably, like, bring up. And that's that, like, they explained how Marco's, like, whole deal works.
Well, with the bullets and the car angel and whatnot.
Yeah. I forget if I explained this before or not. I don't think I did. I think I forgot. But yeah, it was explained in, like, a guidebook or something later on that, like, Marco does have an angel spirit, it's just, like, way too hard to control normally, so he, like, uses the car spirit to, like, like, deal with it.
Okay.
Like, he's basically, like, channeling it through the car spirit, so it's more manageable. So yeah, his guardian spirit is a car, but he's using that car for an actual angel, and that's why the car, like, angel is so strong.
Okay.
So yeah, it makes sense, I think. Makes enough sense. And yeah, that's all these are. Guys were able to, like, handle, like, angels and stuff, because it's like, alright, well, yeah, it's like, they're not directly controlling the angel, they're controlling the car. So it, like, makes it easier on them.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to see Tamao do a thing, but Marco coming back to life and just wrecking the dude is cool until Marco is made to be pathetic again.
Yeah, cause how?
Yeah, Hal shows up and I was like, okay, shoot him. Not Hal, the Anahal, the guy he already had at gunpoint.
Yeah.
Like, at that point, Marco should have been like, okay, all bets are off, into this guy, and then deal with the bigger problem.
I feel like, maybe it's just me, I feel like Marco's, like, reformed too much to do that now, right? Because
Yeah, but
Alphys had, like, a complete, 180, but I think he's, like, wavered enough on that to be like, alright, maybe I shouldn't just shoot a random dude, like, when I have the chance.
okay, but also he killed Miss Maiden. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there should still be something in Marco that would be like, okay, you're dead.
Yeah. He killed both Miss Maiden and himself.
Yeah, he killed him, Miss Maiden, and Lyserg.
Yeah, just straight up. Lyserg just went to hell just immediately.
Yeah, all people that Marco supposedly cares about.
Yeah. And meanwhile, just like hard cut to just Ren and the others in the bath.
There
Ren and
are
his team.
Yeah, unlike most anime, this series has a lot of shots of like just like dudes, like
Yeah, well,
naked dudes.
let's be like 100% accurate here. Just it's like it's covered child nudity.
Yeah, it's just
You're seeing Chocolove and there's like his little spirit ball is like conveniently in the way.
yeah. I just think it's funny how often we've seen Rin almost naked, conveniently censored by something.
Man, has this series even like had like real female fan service yet? I'm trying to think. Cause there's been like when Eliza was like forming from a skeleton and it was, kind of like fan servicey. Cause it's like, our body forms first and then the outfit and you can kind of see a bit, but like I feel like outside of that,
Not really.
Yeah, no, this series doesn't exactly like do a lot of female fan service, huh? It's just like just the dudes.
So that was the thought I had is like, man, like straight girls must really like this show if
Yeah,
they watch it.
I guess to be fair, like they do have Miss Maiden with like her top off a lot when she like gets out of the like the Iron Maiden and stuff. But that's like more creepy,
Yeah, it also just doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, meanwhile, you're just getting shots of, like, Ryu in the shower, like, the dudes are always baiting together, Rin keeps standing up, there's always, like, stuff covering them, they're doing the whole, like, spirit form-like things.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, with Rin, they're doing it on purpose as, like, a gag.
Yeah.
Because, like, Rin just stands up fully naked, and then there'll just be something, like, I don't know, Chocolov's big stupid shower cap in the way, just blocking it.
He just gets up, and then, like, they look over, and all the guys in the effing, like, the friggin', like, Gondara group just walk in, the team they just beat, and they're like, oh yeah, sorry to do this, but you're gonna have to go to hell for a bit.
Yeah.
They just kill them, and, like, Chocolov's just like, oh, I guess I'm back at this place, huh? Well, and like, Spirit shows that they're like watching over their bodies, and you see that they're just like face down in like the tub.
Yeah, that was, I had that thought too. I was like, shouldn't they get the, like, if they come back with lungs full of water, like, they're gonna die instantly.
Yeah. Like, this is like, I guess it doesn't matter that much, but still, maybe you should be a bit more careful around them. I think that's just straight up meant to be the gag.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious that we're hand-waving a lot of, like, the more intricate parts of, like, the death of the body. Because, like, for as long as Ren was dead, he'd be brain dead.
Oh, yeah, straight up.
Like, we're hand-waving the oxygen deprivation to the brain that would just make you a vegetable for the rest of your life.
Yeah, don't worry about it. The mind is just in the soul, so as long as you just fix the wound, it's good.
I guess.
Keep in mind, this is also the series where, like, Faust breaks his leg, and his solution is to, like, rip out his broken femur and get a new one from a corpse.
But his legs are broken later, and he's like, alright, my dog is my legs now.
Yeah, because he was like, oh, Eliza, like, her leg bones were cut apart, alright, I'll give her my leg bones.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Faust
I
fell
guess.
from like 5,000 like miles up in the air in like a wheelchair and hit the ground face first, but he was fine because he was on morphine, and then he just healed himself up afterwards.
Yeah. Also, I'm just realizing that because of that, not all of Eliza's skeleton is there.
Oh yeah, straight up, huh?
So yeah, it might not be. Even if you could revive somebody via skeleton, it might not work because some of her bones are Faust's.
Yeah. Maybe could grow like some new bones and that'd like work out, you know? Cause like, all right, so hear me
Well,
out
if
for a
that's
second.
well, if that's the case, then Faust's bones should be fine.
Yeah. You know, knowing Faust, I assume he still has her broken leg bones. Like, absolutely.
Maybe.
I would not be surprised for a second if that was the case. So hear me out. When you heal someone like that, you know, you're not like, it doesn't seem like they're like speeding up like the recovery process. They're making new tissue, right?
Mhm.
Cause like, I mean, yeah, I'd assume that's how it works. So like, I'd assume if you could heal a skeleton good enough, you could just like create a new body around it that looks however you want.
Maybe.
I would assume if you're like good enough at it.
I'm just gonna assume that we'll never see like Eliza revived.
Actually, yeah, that was a good question. Like, how far would that even go? Because, like, clearly there's a danger of, like, alright, if you destroy the body, then, like, you know, you can't come back. But if you can just heal people, then it's like, how much do you have to heal someone before it's, like, like, just too late, right? Like,
Gonna
if someone
assume
gets, like, turned into a skeleton, you burn them to ashes, could you heal the ashes back into being a person?
probably not.
Yeah, because where's the line then? Because, maybe you couldn't revive someone from a skeleton then.
Probably not. I'm gonna assume that the body has to be mostly intact.
Yeah, I know, it's weird, because the series does bring up, like, that Faust just switches his bones out and stuff, so it does raise an interesting question there.
If you replace all the parts on a ship, is it still the same ship?
If you replace every bone in Faust's body, is he still Faust?
The answer is yes. What matters is probably the spirit, but it probably has to reattach to a form it recognizes.
If you take out Faust's brain and his spirit leaves his body, and then you put a new brain in the body and Faust's spirit goes to that, is it Faust?
I don't know.
If you revive the other person, does that become Faust?
Can we have multiple Fausts walking around?
We just keep using this process to keep cloning Faust. We just have an army of healers.
As long as we can keep our resurrection guy alive, we're good.
It's like, you know, in Final Fantasy 14 when you're like making the like mother Porksy, there's just like a mother Faust that just like is just pumping out like little clones of himself. As long as you evolve these little mini Fausts, you can cure death. Just pass these out to everyone across the continent. Do it. It's also yeah, it's also worth knowing we see Faskel's human form, yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, guess what? He's a barely dressed dude.
Yeah, now you mention it. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Something about Sadi gets stabbed through by the Chinese guy, and then like Ryu's all like, "Oh my god," whatever, and then we don't go back to that scene.
Yeah.
So that'll resolve later, I guess.
Oh yeah, also like effing Yo learns if your soul dies in hell, you die in real life.
Yeah, which leads to something else I was gonna mention. Yoken goes out like a punk.
Oh yeah, he just gets taken off guard and smashed with a giant demon hammer.
Which is super, super lame.
Yeah, it's fine. It's good for the shock value. It's just like,
I
oh, this is a place where you just get fucked, huh?
I disagree that it's good for the shock value because he's been in hell for like 500 years and all of a sudden one random demon with a hammer kills him.
Yeah, but to be fair, maybe I'm being way too lenient, but to be fair, he probably hasn't been, like, engaged in talking with, like, a future descendant like this in a while. I feel like usually he's just, like, killed people and then moved on because he doesn't trust anyone.
Yeah, I still think it's dumb.
Yeah, it could have been better.
Even in a situation where he's talking to Yo, he knows where he is. I can't buy that he would just let his guard down enough that some punk jobber demon would pop up and smash him with a hammer, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I can see where you're coming from, absolutely, yeah.
It seems really lame and stupid.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe he's not dead for good. Maybe his soul's not gone and he'll just come back in like a bit, somewhere else.
I don't know, the dude got turned into goo. Like, he got smashed into paste.
Yeah, because remember, it's like Yo got his arms like melted off down to being skeleton arms and then he just formed them back, so maybe he can just reform.
Yeah, but there was enough of Yo there to have a thought like, oh, I can regenerate.
Yeah, that's the thing though. It's like Yo's not really there. It's just his soul, right?
Yeah.
I know. I would be super surprised, but it's also like, yeah, alright, yeah. It could have been like, a better way to get rid of that character.
I think it's dumb.
Yeah.
Not a fan of that part.
Yeah.
And it's not even like a like sentimental, like whatever. It's like, I barely knew that character. He showed up for like 10 minutes and then they axed him off.
Like, it feels like it should take something more to get rid of him.
Yeah. It's like, oh, this is the guy who killed Hal 1,000 years ago, and some loser demon crushed him to death.
Yeah, not even like a strong one. Yo just like wrecks him immediately, and they gets hit with an arrow because there's multiple demons now. Well, good luck with that one.
Yo's gonna be fine. Like, I hope he goes full Doomslayer on them.
Yo is determined to save his pet rabbit.
The one they fear is Yo. Or they will by the time he's done with them.
he just
we know that's not how Yo is. Yo will like find a way to escape and not have to kill them all.
We see Yo just walk out of hell and he's like, oh yeah, it turns out getting close to stab people is really efficient, so I devised a new and more powerful oversoul. And it's just a big gun that fires swords. It's just like a big minigun.
He used the old Joestar technique of run away.
It's like, yeah, it turns out we'll have a really easy time being Hal with this. Get chick.
It's with a gun.
He's just like the heavy in like Team Fortress. And I have to imagine that would be like super wasteful energy wise or whatever, but screw it. It'd be really funny.
Spirit gun.
Spirit gun. Just goes Yu Hakusho on these mother effers.
Yeah. I mean, I'm surprised we haven't seen somebody who's like a straight up parody of that.
Yeah, when did Yu Hakusho come out? Because I think it was before this.
I couldn't tell you. I'm not sure.
Alright, so it was 92, which I believe was earlier. Yeah. King release. No, not the new one. Screw it, maybe this list. Sean King Manga release date. Alright, please. 98 is what ended. Okay, yeah, there's overlap.
Yeah, just
well, actually, no, it'd be like, yeah. Alright, yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, Just a dude who vaguely looks like Yusuke, and he fights by shooting Furyoku as a gun.
Yeah, there's just a random, like, Bancho punk that's like, oh yeah, my medium is like this rock or whatever, and I just shoot it out of, like, like a gun by doing the finger motion in front of it.
Yeah.
And that's why he only has, like, so many shots a day, because he has a limited number of rocks.
Well, isn't Ryu kind of like Kuwabara?
Yeah, straight up. Oh man, honestly, Kuwabara or Ryu, which is like better?
I don't know anything about Yu Yu Hakusho.
I don't remember that much about Kuwabara, but Ryu's pretty cool.
All I know about Kuwabara is that he used the sword, and I thought that was cool.
Yeah, he uses the big, like, energy sword, and it turns out it doesn't produce energy. It's like a portal to another dimension, and that's how it cuts things.
Sure.
So he turns into, like, an even crazier, like, dimensional sword. And it's like, oh, alright. Yeah, why not? Oh, man. Like, Ryu over Kuwabara, but like, I don't know, Hiei over Horohoro. That's not even a contest, holy crap.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I guess the right comparison would be like Hiei or Rin. And, I don't know. Yeah, it's a bit more of a tougher. I don't know, I feel like Rin's a better character from what I remember, but Hiei's cooler. I mean, Hiei is, like, pretty cool. I feel like there's no real arguing that. Plus, he keeps doing crazy things. Got his crazy, like, whole black flame dragon-like gimmick. Where it's like he has still this big crazy black fire dragon and it, like, fucks his arm up. It's like, nah, I need to, like, make it stronger. Alright, Black Flame Dragon, mess up more of my body. Let's do it. Man, is there anything else we really want to, like, add to this?
Why isn't Lyserg able to fight when he's in hell?
Good question. Maybe it's because he doesn't realize it and he imagines himself being alone.
Maybe? Well, no, because he called on Morphine and his angel as if he knew they should be there.
Yeah. Because it's like, you can will, like, anything you want in hell, but I guess if you don't will it and you just expect it to be there, it wouldn't be. Because you have to, like, make it happen. And I feel like that makes enough sense, honestly.
Yo had to meet Amaru with him before he realized what was happening.
Yeah, when did Lyserg actually... Because... No, Lyserg would have had spirits with him when he died. No, that was weird. I don't know, maybe it's some, like, metaphor for guilt or whatever, I don't know.
Well, Lyserg will figure it out. Will definitely figure it out because he gets his arm cut off.
Oh yeah, Lyserg's not having a fun time.
Yeah, so Lyserg is definitely going to come to the realization that Yo did in some way, and he'll regenerate that.
How crazy will it be if it's like Lyserg goes to hell and he just gets wrecked and can't do it, and it's like, alright, well, I guess we have to make a new fifth warrior. Who's left? You know what? Ryu, yeah, you'll work. Go die and come back. We gotta switch these people out. We'll deal with this later. That's not gonna happen, but it'd be funny, though.
Yeah, I don't...
Man.
Abba did imply that, like, either he or other allies of his were going to go around and be like, okay, here's the deal.
Yeah. Yeah, he sends off, like, Masamune to, like, help the others. So, yeah, fair enough.
I don't think he sent... He didn't send off Masamune to do anything. He was already doing his thing.
Yeah, he's like, I'll go
But
one of
he,
these guys, and you take care of the other two. And he looks up at the sky train that like it's implied Mamune's on.
well, he does say Madamune. He knows he's
Does he?
there.
Oh yeah, all right,
Yeah,
yeah. I
he
do remember
knows.
him saying like, "Go take care of the other two or something."
Yeah, he knows Matamune. It's just it's not implied that he's directly like communicating
Yeah,
with him.
yeah. Okay, yeah, I get it. Yeah, he's not directly telling him. He's just like, yeah, they're going for him.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, I forget if the like anime shows this. I don't believe it does, but yeah, in the manga, yeah, that flying ghost train just straight up has a skeleton conductor.
Nice. Yeah, we don't. Yeah, it doesn't show that in the anime. We just see Matamune get on it, and he's just like, I can't stay here, or I'll end up like Yoken, whatever that means.
Yeah, I guess he means like lost and without purpose or whatever. Just
Maybe.
fighting whoever. I do like that there's just a flying crazy, like, ghost train, though. Suddenly the ending makes way more sense. The, like, outro ED.
Oh, does it show a big ghost train?
Yeah, it's like Yo and Mamooney are, like, riding the train together as the song plays, and it, like, cuts away and they're, like, in space.
Ah,
So it's like, oh, it's the ghost train all along. Or just a metaphor, yeah. Still, though, I'd take it as a reference.
because in the little Matamune mini arc, they ride a train to wherever.
Yeah. And now we got a train in hell where we can look at all these beautiful stars together in hell. It's still like so weirdly funny to me. It's like, oh yeah, these characters all just went to hell and that's just how they're dealing with it.
Yeah, don't forget they're safe there.
Yeah, they're safe in hell. It's fine. Man, I feel like I'm a bit conflicted because it's like, all right, this is a fine episode. It's getting the plot where it needs to be. I like Yo's power up and stuff, but it's like, here's the thing, right? Like, I'm interested in seeing like how each of these characters is going to deal with their own personal hells, and if there's going to be like more that comes from that. But also, it's like, maybe this is just me, but it's like, I haven't been, like, super interested with that many people's, like, actual powers in the series. So it's like, okay, well, I know what the designs are, and I don't know, what's Lyserg's going to be? I'm not, like, particularly excited for it. It's probably just gonna be a way for him to do wire things, but better. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, more wire shenanigans, and it's like, that power set is whatever, I guess.
Like, we got Ryu's, like, whole new Oversoul revealed, and I feel like we barely really talked about what it does outside of the fact that it shoots lightning. It's just oh, he has, like, an element, and he fires off the, like, gauntlet part like a big fist, and has an engine in it. And it's like, alright, yeah, that's kind of neat, I guess.
I don't remember ever actually seeing...
Yeah, he uses it against the guys from Gandhara to, like, break their nullification thing. Yeah, it's the Oversoul he has in the opening.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's the big, like, like, fish fin, whatever, Bushin V2.
Wait, who are we talking about?
Ren?
Maybe I just blanked out, but I thought we were talking about Ryu.
I may have said Ryu by accident, but I meant Ren, yeah. Ryu's just still stuck with the whole, like, thing.
Okay, that would explain my confusion, then.
Yeah. Yeah, let me just bring up the edge while I'm talking about. Yeah, this thing. Yeah, because we've seen this, and it's like, we've seen, like, I feel like I like Yo's new Oversoul, but it's like, I don't know, it feels like the final forms haven't been, like, that crazy, right? It's like, here's one that just shoots a thing out, it's like, alright, it's like, oh, what does Chocoloves do? It's like, well, outside of the giant flying invisible city that he only used once, it just makes him, like, fly around fast, and he has, like, guns on his head. It's like,
Jaguar.
okay, that's kind of neat, I guess.
Jaguar Man.
Yeah, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, for final, like, end of series shonen power-ups, these aren't, like, that exciting, are they?
Yeah. I don't think we saw some Oversouls before they went and got new ones. Like, we saw Spirit of Sword and it got used a little bit, and then Yo was immediately like, alright, new Oversoul.
Yeah, like, he did do some stuff with Spear of Sword, but didn't really, like, he's just basically kind of, like, swung it around a bit. Like, all it really does is just, like, a big sword, and, you know, I mean, it's cool to have a big sword, it looks cool.
Yeah.
But it's like, there's not a lot else to these characters' power sets for the most part, is there?
Yeah. Faust got his Oversoul with the giant Eliza, and then he's like, hey, I learned a new skill.
Yeah, I remember when he got that. I was like, oh yeah, is that like a giant syringe gun? Is he gonna shoot like syringe bullets at people? And it's like, oh no, he just stabs people with it. It's literally just a big syringe. I know it was a cool reveal though.
Yeah. The point, yeah, it's cool. The point is that they don't really use it.
Yeah, like, this isn't like Hunter x Hunter, where it's like every ability has all these like layers and all this crazy stuff it can do. It's like, okay, yeah, you have a stronger sword as a cool design, but it's still a sword.
Yeah, there's not much reason for Yo to go back to I don't know, doing the normal like spirit integration thing he did in episode 1 or whatever.
That's the weird part, because it's like, it feels like one of those interesting abilities Yo had was way like first fought Rin, and Yo, he has like his Oversoul like V2 or whatever, and because it's got like a Miyamaru's like spirit head on it, it can like look behind him and like cover his blind spots.
Yeah.
Because they're like working together.
I think back in the beginning, I was like, "Oh, so that's what Yo's power is." That opens up cool ideas where he like gets different spirit allies or whatever. And it's like, nah,
pretty much.
nah.
His power is sword.
Yeah, to Mitamaru, always he just gets bigger, cooler sword skills.
I don't know, like, not to like diss on the series too much or whatever, but I remember like a while back, like years and years ago, I vaguely remember much about it, but I remember like a podcast called Weekly Manga Recap covered Shaman King, and I listened to it. I don't think they got too into the plot and just kind of mainly gave their impression on the characters. But I remember one of their big complaints was that it's like, for a shonen series, you don't really remember the fights that much. And I feel like I can kind of like see why, because it's like everyone's powers are just kind of like whatever for the most part, right?
Yeah.
Like, the weirdest it gets is when Faust is doing his necromancy thing, and, you know, then he just sort of doesn't have any fights after that. He just stops doing it.
Surely things will get more interesting when they get god-level Oversouls.
Yeah, I'm curious what that's going to be about, but I'm also like, you know, I'm not like holding my breath exactly expecting anything like too crazy, right?
Maybe. I don't know. I would expect them to get godlike Oversouls, and it reflects it.
Yeah. Like, I'm definitely expecting them to get stronger, but I can't imagine them getting, like, you know, anything really that crazy with their big final power boost.
Yeah.
Like, anything interesting, I should say, specifically.
It'd be nice if they got really memorable, like, oh, that's their big cool thing.
Yeah. It'd be nice if, like, Lyserg found a way to fuse his, like, Mecha Angel and his Lyserg stuff together in some weird way and do a bunch of weird, crazy, like, you know, string stuff in, like, a new way instead of just shooting a thing around really quickly.
I built the Eiffel Tower out of string.
Yeah, he only did that once. Yeah, it wasn't even the Eiffel Tower, it was Big Ben.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Case in point, it's so unimportant I forgot what he built with it.
Man, I was so excited when I saw Ryu had like the big crazy Orochi car, and he's basically just used it to carry people around.
Uh,
Like, I still like the series, but like, holy crap, this is kind of a bit of an issue, I think.
yeah.
Oh well.
It's like, I don't know. Please get a little more creative with what you're doing.
Yeah. Please, like, give us something that's like as crazy as the giant invisible floating city in the sky, and please actually keep it in the anime.
Yeah, show us that's what's happening.
Yeah, show us, like, have Chocolove throw the giant, like, floating invisible city at someone or something. I don't know, that'd be fun. And, I feel like that's probably, like, kind of why I like the Witch Trio so much, because it's, like, they have fun, like, personalities, you know, and you look at their oversouls, and they're all, like, kind of weirdos.
They're cool. They're like horror movie characters.
You have a little, like,
oh,
doll that, like, shoots people, and you, like, reposition it and crap.
Yeah, and like a floating armor made of smoke, so you can't, like...
Yeah, it's not just the armor. He could just leave the armor and attack you while you're distracted with breaking the armor. And you have a smoke naked Nightman striking you with a lance.
Yeah, and he can't be destroyed because he's made out of something intangible.
Yeah, that's the real interesting crap, I think. It's just like, alright, how do we beat someone that's made of smoke? I don't know. I guess just beat the user, huh?
Mickey has to show up and smack the cigarette out of her mouth. It's like, no, smoking's bad.
It's the only way to do it. Yeah, doesn't he say something like, yeah, you shouldn't smoke or it'll, like, you know, like, harm you if you want to have a nice baby inside you or something? And she's like, what? Like, she's just super taken aback, like, what the crap? I still... That's the thing. It's like, as weird as that fight was, it's memorable. I'm never going to forget Mickey just showing up and beating the Witch Trio by just, like, fathering them into submission.
Yeah. Memorable. Mickey's great.
Mickey just shows up and goes out of his way to specifically slap every single woman in the area. Holy crap. Oh man, but yeah, that was the same episode as the effing Witch Trio. Episode was it like 91 of the podcast or more of the crap?
I don't remember.
I know I lost it, but whatever, it's fine. It's crap. It's probably like right around here somewhere. No. Crap, it's somewhere. Oh, here it is. Crap, which episode actually was that? Yeah, number 29. Yeah, go watch episode 29, I guess, to see us laugh about Mickey fathering these three effing, like, villains to death.
Yeah. Oh, there is a moment in this episode where, Yokin is like, so, Yo, do you have any kids? And Yo is just like starts blushing and, like, rolling around on the ground or whatever. And then Amidamaru whispers something to him?
Yeah, you realize why that is, right?
No.
So, I forget exactly what happened. Like, I forget the exact one. It might have been, like, before Yo gave up or something. I forget, like, the specific date. No, I think it was before he left for, like, the Sean turn, yeah. There is specifically, like, a scene that happens where it's implied that Yo and Anna, like, sleep together for the first time. So, yeah, they probably did it.
Maybe?
That I completely believe that's what this is implying. He's like, hey, Yo, you don't know any kids, do you? And he thinks back for a second, and he's like, oh god, I actually might.
I don't know. They're like 12.
I know. I feel like that is the implication, at least, if nothing else. Because it'd be weird, but like we are talking Japan. I've seen weirder. Never forget, Mikazuki fucks in the Gundam.
Sure. I don't know. It could be Amidamaru explaining that, like, in today's, like, because back then you would like, I think it was common to like marry young because life expectancy was low.
Yeah,
I don't know if that applies to Japan also, but
I imagine Midamaru's like, if nothing else, he's like, he's engaged, and it's a whole like, and they're like, oh,
yeah, it could have been that too.
yeah. I don't know. Maybe that does make more sense. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, there's some weird thing at the end where Anna's like, oh yeah, I'm pregnant or something, and Yo's like, oh fuck.
And all the more sensitive viewers of the show fly into a rage.
They all flock to Twitter.
Yeah, straight to Twitter.
Straight to Twitter, and they get the hashtag trending. Hashtag Shaman canceled. Canceled with like a K.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't fly to Twitter for anything, but it's like, I don't know, if that was revealed, I would be like, eh.
Just like a flock of swans.
Yeah.
Just trying to find their nesting ground.
My thoughts on the author of Shaman King would be, eh.
1,000 bleak comments unfolding.
Radar, I swear, if you pull my controller off the table.
I mean, let's be honest, people who care about Twitter cancellation raids aren't people who watch anime.
Yeah.
They're people who see one screenshot and that's all they know.
Yeah, they hear that there's like the slightest bit of like questionable story writing, and they're like, oh, we gotta cancel that.
I'm just imagining like episode 52 comes out, right, and they do a reveal like that. None of these people are gonna know about it.
Yeah,
they're not gonna stick around that long.
Shaman King probably isn't super popular to begin with.
Oh yeah. Like, especially if you're that concerned about things being quote-unquote problematic, you're probably over by now. You probably, you probably left it. Man, what would be, like, the first thing that'll, like, get them to leave? You probably left it Ponchi and Conchi, let's be real.
Yeah.
Like, straight up.
Or the unintentionally creepy moments with Mickey.
Yeah, you probably left when Ryu was introduced and like hitting on Anna because you didn't understand he was like a high schooler.
That was weird though.
Oh yeah, that was super weird.
Mostly because Ryu looks like a full-grown adult.
Oh, he sure does.
So and Anna's like a tiny girl, and it's like, oh man, that makes this look really bad.
Yeah. Oh man, Ryu's like an effing high schooler with hair on his chest.
And he's freaking ripped.
Oh yeah, Ryu looks more ripped than like most adults.
Yeah, Ryu
he's more of a man than I could ever be.
Ryu stands around without his shirt on for a good amount of this episode, and it's like, holy crap, he's huge.
Oh man, I'm kind of surprised. Like, I guess because Yo is best place, but I'm kind of surprised we had her say best place in like so long.
Yeah, it's because he found his best place.
So we just like stopped talking about it, and he's not trying to help anyone else find their best place. He's just good now.
It's just not relevant, or it hasn't been relevant.
Oh man, is there anything else we really want to get into? I guess.
No, that's the last thing I was thinking of about that episode.
So yeah, episode 42. Thumbs up, thumbs down,
Thumbs up, I guess. It's I don't know, it's weird.
It was fine, yeah.
I guess everything about sending everyone to hell so they can become the 5 warriors or whatever.
Yeah, it's fine setup. You know,
It's
it's a good fight with Yoken.
Yeah, it's just so weird that all of it happens all at once.
Oh yeah, everyone just dies, and the world's hope just rests on Faust's shoulders.
Yeah.
I I don't know if people like this or not. As one like get a picture of like a guy giving like the thumbs up and just Photoshop Faust's head onto it and just call the YouTube upload something like Faust is the hope of humanity. Oh man. So yeah, see you around, I guess.
Yeah. Later.
Later.